Alright, welcome everyone to the first video on this channel. This is going to be the inaugural video of this new YouTube channel where I'm going to be yelling over League games. Whether they're high or low level, we will see. This particular game is a rather high level game. There are some diamond players, there are some gold players, there are some unranked players, not sure what's up with that, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be a pretty good game all around. For the blue team today, we have the Kale, using the legendary skin for Kale in mid lane, running with a Crystalline Flask, going to go for that sustain in that lane. Amumu in the jungle, Ezreal and Thresh down bottom. That is a viciously aggressive lane, and of course Thresh going for the ridiculous amount of wards, as he was wont to do. Ezreal starting with the Fort Pot, interesting choice. He's going to need to get some farm going. And Darius in the mid lane against, Darius in the top lane, excuse me, against the Singed on the other side, who was going top for the enemy team, going 8 potions, 3 mana. That's crazy. I'm not sure if that's going to work out in the end. Darius is probably going to bleed him down. The Hecarim is in the jungle for the red team, with Jarvan in mid, which is very, very strange for me. Again, starting Fort Pot. I think that's the newer thing to do for these higher level games. Janna is going to be supporting their Caitlyn, and I think that Caitlyn can probably stay well out of range of both Ezreal and Thresh, especially with a Janna support preventing them from getting particularly close to her, so I think that's a pretty good counter pick, if indeed it was a counter pick. While we wait for this jungle to get started, let's pay attention to a little bit more of the details. Amumu starting a good amount of armor, and of course Hunter's Machete. Most junglers, save for a few like Malphite, all start with that item. It's pretty much the only choice. Hecarim starting the exact same, going for wolves first, and probably going to be taking those out a little bit faster than Amumu. Getting the Janna shield, taking a little bit less damage because of it. But this leash is a little bit faster actually because, oh, Darius stealing the wolf, that's not good. Not nice to do to your jungler friend, as the Amumu misses a good amount of experience and gold because of that, and he kind of needs it. This is going to be a very, very quick blue buff. We'll see if he does it smiteless or not. Hecarim doing the exact same, getting kind of a weaker leash as the Caitlyn was a little bit farther away, stealing a minion. Once again, why is everyone stealing minions? Actually going for a smiteless blue buff for the Hecarim. Did the Amumu do the same? Yes, indeed, both of them still have their smites up. Meanwhile, in mid lane, I'm curious to see how this Jarvan's going to be doing against this Kale, as, I mean, honestly, the Kale has a little bit more reach, but Jarvan going in really, really close and getting a couple free auto attacks off. Kind of cool. I think Jarvan is just running a bit more movement speed, 350 to 335. Yeah, he's going to be moving a little bit faster. I'm not sure if that's going to really pay off in the end, though. We shall see. Top lane, there was a missing ping for some reason going down. I'm not sure what he was talking about there. Sins actually did start, I don't know, he doesn't actually have a skill yet. Interesting. I'm curious to see if he's going to pick up his his fling or his poison first. I'm not sure. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Ezreal going in hog wild against the Caitlyn, who got a shield on her, making sure that she didn't quite die. Barrier having to go down to save her life. Exhaust going down the Ezreal so the chase doesn't continue past the tower. Takes a tower shot, but he uses a mana and a health potion, and he'll be right back to full in no time flat. Caitlyn, though, hitting some good Piltover Peacemakers, making it work for her. Meanwhile, Jarvan going in on the Caitlyn, I'm sorry, the Kale, gonna actually be getting the better of that, but as he walks away, this Kale is gonna poke him down with the magic that is her Righteous Fury. Hecarim coming up top lane to gank the Darius. We'll see if this comes out anything. Singed walking back a little bit too far. The Darius still has yet to see this coming though. Getting thrown back into the tower, ghosting to keep himself alive. The Spirit Stone going down for Amumu, but that doesn't matter as the Darius having to run away quite heavily from this Singed who has no mana anymore, and the Hecarim who will not be able to catch him because of his distance. There you go. No boots on this Hecarim quite yet, so that chase is not going to end particularly quickly. Meanwhile, Kale pushing the Darius all the way back to the tower, with both her minions and her ranged auto attacks, making that quite easy for her. Ezreal walking straight up past the tower to maybe harass this Janna. She's at full health though, I wouldn't really try doing that. We'll see though. This Ezreal's a little bit better than me, I'm feeling. I'm surprised that this lane's going as well as it is for the Darius, or the Jarvan, excuse me. He's actually almost matched the Kale on farm. Even with melee range auto attacks and very little options for harass, it's kind of surprising to me. It's going to be great late game. Going to have really good initiations. Ooh, the poke's going down on the Kale though, throwing out a little bit of extra mana. Hecarim coming around the backside with his dash, going to hit her and punch her to the side. Good amount of damage going down, but that's not actually going to get a kill. Just kidding, as the Ignite goes down. The tower dive goes down by the Jarvan, and the Jarvan kills himself in the tower, while the Kale recalls with half a bar. Not sure if he meant to go that far in, or why he cared so much about getting that first blood. Maybe there was a plan there, I don't know. Singed getting lowered quite low and is probably going to die to this Darius. The Darius bleeding to death under his own tower, or the Singed bleeding to death under his own tower as Darius walks away. Darius having gone back and gotten another longsword. getting kind of a lot of damage up because of that. And at 2 bars, he's going to hang around. That's not exactly safe. But Hecarim coming down bottom doesn't care too much about safety, as he's going to go in on this Thresh. Ezreal coming in to do a little bit of extra damage, maybe prevent them from killing him. But the Thresh is going to have to flash over the wall to save his own life. Amumu using the Lantern to pull himself back over to the wall, not entirely sure why he did that. And all of the red minions pushing down. Amumu trying to scare the Caitlyn away from shooting the tower a little bit, as the Thresh heals up a little bit using his potions. This Hecarim isn't exactly getting particularly lucky with his ganks. He is showing that he has jungle advantage, and he does have a good amount of presence in each of the lanes. But he hasn't actually gotten a kill yet, and his Jarvan went a little bit crazy on that gank. Kind of losing him the lane, to be honest. He's gonna, Hecarim's gonna have to come back into this lane to help him out at some point. Meanwhile, bot lane, Caitlyn is all alone against these two champions. However, they aren't gonna go in. I mean, just because they're under the tower doesn't mean they're completely safe, and Caitlyn has outranged them quite easily. Hecarim throwing down that lantern to pick up a couple of souls, getting him a little bit tankier. Israel just throwing some pokes out for free. Janet coming back with the Philo Stone, a couple more wards. Good choice all around, as they do need some wards. The Amumu has yet to gank, but he probably should be coming down very soon, getting just golems right now. Man, I haven't seen a Amumu jungle for so long. He's always banned. Not anymore, apparently. Not complaining, he's kind of a nice champion to see. Darius with level advantage because of that kill that he got earlier. Gonna be pushing down this lane. The missing pings going down by the Jarvan, but Kayle just comes to walk back in the lane, she doesn't care. And it's a cool skin. I wouldn't spend $15 on it, but it's a cool skin. Oh, the pokes. The shield going down to mitigate some of that, but I think it was a little bit late and he took the damage anyway. Potion's going down to keep himself in the lane. Level 6 finally picked up. When the ganks come in, they will come in hard on this Kayle. She's going to have to burn a... Oh, but her flash is down. It's going to show she'll have to burn flash to get out of the Jarvan's Cataclysm. When and if that ever occurs. Meanwhile, the Hecarim just picking up wolves, keeping it nice and calm, trying to come back into this game. He's a little bit behind on minions as he's been ganking pretty consistently. Actually, I'm just kidding. He's beating me on farm. The Darius coming down from top lane, gonna dunk on this Jarvan for free. The Jarvan could not have gotten away from that. Unfortunate though that may be, Darius walking straight back up to his lane as it's pushed to his tower. I don't think there was a missing call or anything for that, so I would be a little bit annoyed if I was that Jarvan. These guys are high-level players though. I'm sure they noticed. They pay attention to the map pretty consistently. Oh, Caitlyn, you missed that last hit. Terrible. Scrub level play. Oh man. I gotta feel bad for this Jarvan. I'm not sure if he chose mid on purpose with this character, or if he was just sort of forced into the role. Even if he was, I don't believe that Jarvan was the best decision. We'll see late game though, as they do have a pretty good advantage there. Singed accidentally flinging the minion and getting beaten down by this this Darius. I was almost called him Graven, same thing. Poor Singed. This is one of the few lanes that Singed doesn't really win. It's kind of strange. Meanwhile, Jarvan back into lane. He's got himself the No Magic Mantle and a Longsword, going for a Hexdrinker first. Which isn't a bad decision against an AP lane, especially if you have to stay in, you have to get harassed a good amount. Ezreal spamming laugh like a jerk. Stop it. Stop. Stop it. Anyhow, Thresh missing a hook, throwing himself to the minion, but getting past behind the Caitlyn, and actually doing a good amount of damage because of that. But the Caitlyn and the Janna both doing a little bit more with the Tornado and the Appeal to the Peacemaker, hitting both of the champions. Pings going down on that. Darius teleporting in behind both the Caitlyn and the Janna. Oh my god, that was so cool. But they're both going to get away with both the net and the walk away, because Janna's really fast. Meanwhile, in mid lane, ult going down by the Ezreal, not going to hit anyone. I actually missed a gank in mid lane, and I do want to see what happened there. I'm going to scroll back a little bit. There we go. Oh, yep. That's what I was talking about. The Amumu getting caught out of position by the Cataclysm, and Hecarim being there to do the extra damage. Jarvan's still dying, however, to the Ignite and the Kayle DPS. Yep. Unfortunate that may be. Hecarim realizing that Amumu died, he has full reign. He's just going to go take the red buff on the enemy jungle. Very good use of that time, although Darius does see that coming and comes over to harass him. This might be a very bad position for this Hecarim to be in, as he does have red buff up. He might be able to do some damage. Dunk going down, however, and the spin, picking up that kill on Hecarim. That was just really good game sense on the Darius' part, as they had no wards to see that he went over there. He just kind of like realized it. Well done. Singed, however, because Darius is messing around all the time down there, is going to try to pick up the top tower. He's not going to actually get it though. The Darius is going to be there well within time to prevent that tower from going down completely, while Janna is warding up her lane. Also probably a good idea as a support. It's a good thing to do. Ooh, another mistook by the Thresh. That's a good amount of mana wasted, honestly. He does have a Philo Stone, though. It shouldn't be a big deal. Amumu looking for a little bit of a run-by gank. Thinking about going into that bush, but he will be sighted by that Vision Ward. Lantern going down, not exactly the most useful Lantern in the world. Deep Tornado preventing the stun from actually connecting completely. The stun does go